Okay, what are we doing today?
Trying to flush the cooling system. What's still wrong with it is there seems to be something in the block causing an occasional clog in the cooling system. Because what gave this away, no exhaust leak, no real problem. There seems to be pressure. There's vacuum forming up here. No pressure forming in the lower. And when I took it for a drive, I drove it on a bumpy gravel road, and I watched the temperature go because I'd hit a bump, it would knock the clog loose, it'd flow freely, and the water in the radiator was cold, so the engine temperature would drop, and then whatever's in there would get sucked into whatever orifice is blocking and clog again, and then the temperature would go. And it did this over and over, so that told me there's something in the block causing a clog, not letting it flow. So I'm going to try to flush it.
And it is a nice, warm, positively balmy 58 degrees out here today.
It was 61, then the clouds came in, the wind came in just as I came out here to do this.
Yes. So.
And now if I can get this nozzle off, I'm going to have to find a wrench. That nozzle's dead and it's rusted on there.
I don't think that's how you water an engine to make it grow.
See if I can get around that bend so it'll stay in there. Alrighty. Then I'm going to shove some stuff around it to clog it, and, or to hold that water hose in and then turn it on. Now, ideally, you would have all kinds of adapters. You'd have an adapter, then going out to screw on, but yeah, I don't have the money or the stuff, so plastic bags it is.
Yes. That's why people watch us, after all, because we're broke too. Dang it. It's either that or, I wonder if these guys kill themselves in this episode. No, not yet.
If you want to see the one that's had the most comments on that, go watch the very first episodes.
Yes. When I really didn't know what I was doing with editing.
And I was filming myself without any supervision.
Yeah, we stopped that for a reason.
Oh, come on, I didn't blow up.
No, but we also got a lot of shots of your hand and your chin.
In my defense, you would have got a good shot of the fireball. There had been one.
Well, we got a better shot of the fireball when there was one, with me recording it.
For that one, check the Cherokee one. The first Cherokee video.
The first Cherokee video when we was out in Tennessee.
That shit. Mate, it's going to spray everywhere, so you might want to stand back.
Yeah, I'm stepping to the side. GoPro or not, dang it, it's going to be cold. Trying it again.
Well, I just changed buckets out. I wanted a bucket with no coolant in it, so I can see what comes out of there. This hose out of the way. Excuse me.
Alright, so I'm going to record down bottom.
This hose out of the way.
Bucket number one, nothing in it. He wouldn't let me record it.
There was nothing in it. Just water. Now we got some black bits that came out of it. Some of it's just dirt loosening out of this bucket. So, but there was a couple black chunks that came out, which is good.
Yep. So now to start bucket number three.
Let me move this cardboard.
Yeah, before I actually step on it.
Step on all the bolts, the bolt and thermostat.
Remember, guys, keep your stuff away from your camera guy so he doesn't step on everything.
Because anything you have that you don't want him to step on or trip over is exactly where he's going to want to walk for the camera.
Yeah, pity the dumb camera guy who wants to actually walk where he's shooting. Bucket number three.
Good clean water coming out. So
clean. Watering a tree.
Now, heater core is back here spraying. I've got it off. I got the lines off going to the engine block, hoping that would cause backflow. They did flowing out. I am now going to try to put something in the exhaust, the return for the radiator, so that I can get more pressure going through that.
So what are you doing with that bottle there?
Hopefully it's going to be a plug for the outlet. If I blow it back up, I don't know how it got crushed down, but whatever. And then towel, and I should be able to shove that in there, and it'll make enough so I can get pressure going to the back without having to reseal everything. I don't really want pressure going through the radiator yet. It's gonna just bubble out the top. And as you can see, it's a plug. This is useful for water bottles. I keep that short one around just for that kind of stuff. It also makes a pretty good wash-off bottle when you put water in it. You'd have to see back here, but this is the heater core connection fill. This is the in, this is the out. Or this is the end of the heater core, this out of the heater core. I just put this on the out hose over here, so I can reverse flow this heater core, so that anything clogged in it'll come out. And then I'm going to do the reverse over here, so there's water going in and out of the heater core. I need an actual piece of line. I forgot to bring out a little short piece of line, but I'll let this flow for a little while so it can clean that out good.
There it is. We finally got it on camera. Sorry, guys. When performing these kind of tests, it's a good idea not to turn up the water pressure too high, otherwise you may blow out the trash you're using to clog the drain line so you can clear out the trash. So you're saying there's too much pressure and you blow out the trash that you're using to clog up the line to
yeah, but I was done already, so I unplugged it.
Sure.
Now I've got a line that I'm going to try to force this into so I can do a direct flush on the lower part of the radiator, or the heater, because that's the lower end of the coolant.
Yes.
And hopefully the little black junk that came out, the first of it, was all there was that was a problem.
Hopefully, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We're flushing everything just in case, just to be sure.
Yep, and I'll flush the radiator too, but I'm not going to necessarily put pressure on the radiator because it shouldn't need it. If I fill water up and it pours out easy, it shouldn't have a problem. Now on the bottom end, I might play with a little bit, make sure water comes out the top. There we go. So
That, and this line is right here, is the addition, as you can see. I think I'm showing it right there, and that's where he's going to.
Because the water's going to come out of that hose too. So water will probably come out of here too.
Yeah. So I'm being careful.
As you moment you say that, you trip over something.
No, I tapped it with my foot. I was stress testing it. I tested its durability. It is very durable. See, it's still in one piece.
I wonder if I've got a nozzle. Of course, the nozzle I wanted to use broke as I was trying to take it off. Let's see if there's another junk one over here that I can make work well enough for that.
Got yourself a new nozzle?
Yeah, a new broken one.
Oh, well, as long as it sprays water, I guess. We don't care about much else. Other than getting your camera guy wet. Your camera guy didn't want to be wet.
Okay, now turn it on. There's water's gonna blow the hose off. There's some resistance here. This may be the part that's clogged. This is the return out of the lower part of the heater core. It's starting to flow better now. There's starting to be less pressure, but it was really pushing. I thought, and it was blowing water out of the hose around the fitting, so it had some back pressure in it. It's flowing pretty clear now, and it doesn't have the back pressure it did.
So you're saying I can turn it off?
Yeah, go ahead and turn the water off. Okay. So now I'm going to flush the radiator out reverse wise. So just got my hand over this part, nozzle in there, push this one works down so it goes down past where it'll go in the overflow, and the hose is up. So we turn the water on.
I got
I'm
you.
gonna not look because I don't want to spray in the face. This time you can do full pressure. Well, yeah, there we go. That's all this faucet's gonna do. And there we go. This time there's still some residual coolant in the radiator. But the whole point of this was to see if, well, it's flowing good because there's no water backing up. There's nothing coming out of there, so it's flowing down good.
Any junk? You seen any junk coming out?
No, so it wasn't the radiator. Didn't think it was. We flushed the radiator twice already, so.
Yeah. But you never can tell, you know, these things, they could get blown from the engine into the radiator. Yeah. It's a closed system after all.
But it looks like what it was there's a channel that runs from the lower heater return, the heater return line down to the thermostat, and I'm guessing there was a clog in there. Of course, we didn't put the bucket under there. That's my fault. But I forgot to put the bucket back under there, so whatever was clogging it, if it came out, it's sitting down there, and the wood chips can never be found.
It's just the black amidst the black. The black junk amidst the black junk on the ground.
Yeah.
So pretend something like there is a clog.
Okay, now we start the reverse flush. I've done the same thing with the bottom. Reconnected without the thermostat, reconnected everything to the pump. Now I'm going to reverse flow and see how things go.
Or something, I hear water, but I don't see water.
Yeah, it should be coming out in the back. Just don't want to get sprayed. Don't walk in front of that, you'll get sprayed. And eventually it's going to come out that one. Yeah, it's coming out of both heater cores. So now let's see if I do that. There we go. Turn the water on full blast. I may not turn it. I don't think I turned it on high enough. And do that one.
Don't go chasing water.
Do that one. Everything is flowing good now. Yep, everything's flowing out of the bottom.
All right.
So I'll let everything flow for a little bit. And I'll do the heater core here in a second. Let's put it in, maybe reverse wise. There we go.
This is not a water-cooled camera.
Well, in my defense, I didn't know it was sitting on the windshield.
Why are you trying to spray water on the windshield?
Well, I was just trying not to spray water on you, and I thought you had the camera.
Literally, this is where the camera was. Nowhere else on this windshield is sprayed. It's like you were aiming for it. Okay, so what happened when I was gone? What'd you break?
Nothing. I've got everything flowing pretty good. I can cover the end, and it will flow through here and flow through the heater core. I can switch that side, do the opposite, and it does the same thing. So everything's flowing good.
Now start it up with a completely returnless system.
It would definitely stay cool. Yeah, so it seems to be happy. We got some black garbage out of it, so I'm hoping that black garbage was the problem. So now I got to get all of these tout water out of the system, so I'm going to use about a gallon of distilled water to just try to flow everything out, and then so it don't have mineral buildup. Then I put the coolant back in.
If this is going to be running long enough to have mineral buildup.
Hey, I'm going to do it right. Even if it's going to the junkyard, I'm doing it right.
Okay, try to get under the hood. And we are running distilled water through the system.
Yep, just making sure there's none of that. Our tap stuff is very heavy, very hard, so I don't want any of that stuff in the system. Now I'm going to push this on so I can push it. Nope, nope, nope. I need to push it this way. Yeah.
And so once we're done with that, we're not running it today, so that'll be a different day.
No, engine's all wet, so we're going to let everything dry off.
And then we'll test it.
Forget the funnel. That didn't really...
Bluetooth funnel.
Yep, Bluetooth funnel. And it's peeing down there, so
I'm not
there we
calling
go.
it. Yep.
So that takes care of that.
I think y'all can hear that.
And this port through here. Just regular old distilled water.
Yep. And there we go. And then we'll run the engine tomorrow or the next day. Not today.
Yeah, it'd probably be tomorrow. That's the plan. And
yeah, that is the plan. We'll see if weather cooperates.
if it doesn't rain, since I've got everything, as I get done cleaning everything up, which I'm about done now, I will put everything back together. And that's really all that's left today. If it starts raining, then I'll finish that tomorrow. Alright, doing the clean steel wool funnel trick. If you don't have a good funnel or a good filter you can use, you can make a filter out of a bit of steel wool. Want stuff with no soap, nice and clean, new. Rinse it a couple times. I trim it, I cut it down to a small piece with a pair of tin snips. And it'll get anything that may have been in the coolant I pulled out of this, out of the coolant, so that we don't have any chunkies go back in the system. And you just had to have a funnel big enough to hold some fluid. And just give it time. It takes a little while. And watch for buildup of junk. If junk builds up in it, then you need to clean it out. And this time I'm doing another weird trick. I'm going to try to help gravity burp this thing. So I'm trying not to fill it up too much. I'm trying to fill the radiator most of the way, but not the entire system, because I need to fill out the heater core. I'm going to just use distilled water for it, and then put it back on, and then finish and try to gravity burp this thing overnight while everything's drying out. Do that. I'm trying to watch this and make sure if any fluid starts coming out of that, I got to quit completely. A little bit down there and back and forth, and it's just kind of a slow process. Up. And put a finger on that. This is why this part I'm doing with water. Try to get the air out of that, and then I'll put this together quick and tighten it down, and hopefully I've gotten a head start on burping it. I don't normally do it this way. It's just this thing's been so difficult. I'm worried it's air trapped in it, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to keep there from being air trapped in it. Okay, that's full. Now I got it. Quick, like, there we go. Get that clamp on there. Come on, clamp. There we go. And then I'll tighten that down, and all will be good. It's already cooling off my hands. And now I just finish filling it up.
Currently burping things.
Yeah, it gives time for the engine all to dry off enough not to be anything short. I'm gonna let it see if it burps. Yeah, it's burping it.
As you can see, not burning coolant.
Let me rev it.
Yeah, go ahead, rev it.
You can watch the exhaust.
No smoke.
That may have been just burning off oil that was accumulated.
No, I said no smoke. But
I know,
yeah.
I mean, the last time when it was smoky, it may have just been oil accumulated.
Yeah. And
It sat for 3 weeks?
it did. It sat for a while.
A month. It sat for a month.
And No check engine light. And it is, yeah.
About done.
And it's burping the air out of the system.
And this hose, for the first time ever, is actually starting to warm up. So it's actually circulating water this time properly. At least it seems to be.
Okay. I don't know why that's not doing anything. Whatever.
One push, two push.
Dead.
Dead.
Okay.
I wonder if you overheated it by leaving it on for an hour.
I wonder if the battery's dead while leaving it on for an hour. All right, so yeah, it's starting to warm up top.
But yeah, this hose is actually warming up, and it hasn't warmed up since we started doing it.
He is right about that.
So that's the first time that's ever warmed up. I'm gonna see the heater hoses are warming up. They never warmed up either.
This is warming up too?
Yeah, and those have a little warmth to them. Still not as warm as they should be, but they got a little warmth to them. Pushing the air in them out. I'm not sure the heat's even on right now, though.
I don't think the heat's on. You want to go turn the heat on? You're closer. So he's going to turn the heat on. We're going to, yeah. And we're getting the rest of the air out of it. There we are. Okay, it's barked, it's running, no airs, we're good.
We're not good yet. We're just trying to see if it overheats with the system pressurized with the cap on.
Yeah.
Which it's haunted, so it only does it randomly. We'll be like, oh, it's good. Wait, now it's even hotter than it's ever been in its entire life.
Well, yeah, we're good right now.
Well, in conclusion, I got it drivable, but still not fixed. It ran for about an hour and a half. I drove it about 30 miles, windy, slow, hilly, mountainous roads. Then it overheated. But it's at the point now where a water pump and a fuel injector may be all it needs left, but I'm done. It's for sale. I'm being honest, I'm selling it for some of the parts. If it doesn't sell by the middle of March, I'm going to roadkill it. Hood's coming off, bumper's probably coming off. Gonna get max airflow, and I'm gonna drive it around for work and have a little fun with it. And then if it's not gone by early May, I'm pulling what parts are worth trying to sell to someone that's trying to fix one of these up and scrapping it. So we'll see. Hopefully somebody will get it that wants to have a project and accepts the fact that this engine may have to go and be replaced, but I can't put any more money into it, so it's on to somewhere else.
Me and Kit, we both believe it is haunted. Carl says we're wrong.
I will admit, it will be happy, it will run, it'll work fine. It won't test bad for anything that's the normal problem, so yeah. I don't know what's wrong with this engine.
I'll tell you what's wrong. We need an old priest and a young priest.
Or maybe it needs sent back to Ohio?
Yes.
Don't know if it was ever in Ohio. I start questioning.
So that's going to wrap up the saga of the Subaru for the most part. If we do a roadkill, we may do a series of shorts for the roadkill.
Yep.
With it just like a Subaru death watch or something.
Well, yeah,
But
it'd just be...
we may do that, I don't know.
Yeah. So, and if you want a Subaru, you know someone wants a Subaru in the Indiana area, leave a message.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah. And I'm quite literally sum of parts. The most valuable thing on it's the transmission, so...
Yes.
Transmission and tired with only a couple 1,000 miles on them.
So I think that about wraps this one up.
Yep, I think that's it for this one.
All right.
So,
And please
like, share, subscribe, and catch you on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.